Hello and welcome back to this tutorial. In our previous video we learned how to send mails with SMTP-Lib, and in this video we are going to be going a step further by importing the email library, and this will enable us to add extra information on the email we want to send. So for instance, we want to send something like an image or a document, then you can use this email library. You can also use it to send something like a HTML email. So you see emails that has links and buttons. So those can be attributed to HTML email. And this email library can help you to achieve that. So without further delay, let us jump into our code. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be importing another library. So, and I'm going to just write the import statement. So import email. And for now, the part of this email that we are importing, I'm going to import email.message. Okay, so I'm going to modify this import statement. So I'm going to say from email.message that I want to import email message. Okay, so this email message will help you to attach some certain items to your email. All right, so and this email library also works with the SMTP server. So the SMTP lib is always there with the email message to power the communication, but this email message kind of helps you to add more information to your email. So now we have already created some of these variables. We've created the port, we've created the from email, we've created the password, and we have the message here, but we are going to modify this a bit. So I might likely comment out this message, right? So I'm going to just comment this message out. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to create this message as an object of this email message. Okay, so I'm going to call it probably MSG, and I'm going to set it to the object of this email message. So, and I'll open and close it. So this is a class. So I'll start modifying the values of this email message. So like it was in our former code, we had a subject from the email, then we have a from mail, that is where we are sending from, and then where we are sending to. All right, so but we are going to configure it a little differently in this video, and we are going to create a subject for this email. So I'm going to do that by using the dictionary method. So I'm going to say message, and I'll use a dictionary indexing, and I will say subject. Okay, and I'll assign it to a subject, and that is a string. So I can call it new message from me. Okay, then I'm going to set the from email. So I'll access it again, MSG, and this time around I'm going to say from, and I'm going to set it to the from email here that we've created. So I'm going to call it from email. And the next thing is that I'm going to get to the to email, that's where I'm sending from. So I'll write again MSG and access it with to, and I will set this to the to email that we created before. All right, so the next one is that we are going to set the body of the message. All right, so then I'm going to say message, then I'm going to use a method here, set content. So this set content will enable us to create the body. So I'll write body of the message, and that is it for the basic message. So I'm going to try to add some files to this. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to go to my desktop. I downloaded some really beautiful images, so I'm going to get them from the desktop. Okay, so I'm going to just copy these two, and I'll move them to Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I have these two images, on the root of my folder. So I can set it to files, and I'm going to give it to a list of the names of my images. So the names are image 1 and image 2. Okay, so now that I have created all the things that I want to be sending, it is now time for us to try to get all of this into the mail that we are sending it to. So the first thing I'm going to do is to get some informations about this file that I'll be feeding into Python. So I'm going to write a for loop. For file, in files, I want to open them. So with open file, and what is happening here is that the file is going to be the name of the image, right? So we'll have image 1 as a string and image 2 as a string, and I'm going to put it in the mode of RB. So here we are reading binaries, and I'm going to close, and I'm going to say as f. So you remember you can use any variable. Then one other thing that I'm going to import is one image management library. So I'm going to import it, image hdr, and this will enable us to get some information of the image. So, and here I'm coming back to say that if I open it, so I can say file data or file underscore d, it is going to be f.read. Okay, so I'm going to say again file the underscore type. So that's going to be the file type. So I will now use the image hdr that I used, and I use the what method with this image hdr. So you can see that this image hdr is throwing an error. That is because this library is sort of deprecated. So I'm going to say that I'm passing in f dot name. So I will pass in the file names, and it will get us the type, whether it's JPEG or PDF or anything. Then I'll now say file underscore name, or I can say n equals os dot path dot base name, and I'll pass in f dot name. Then I'm going to set the basic information of this file as the attachment of this message. So I'm going to say message dot attachment, and I'll open and close my parentheses. Is going to be the file data. So we're passing in the file data, the main type of the file, and I'm going to set it to image. Then I'm also going to, we have image here. Then also I'm going to go for the subtype equals. So this is going to return either JPEG or PNG or WebP or any file type that you have chosen. All right. So the next one I'm going to say is that, so I'll say file name is the file name that we created there. Now that I've set up all the things that I need, I can decide to start sending this message, because these are basically the same thing. All right. Or I can enclose this in a with statement again. So I'm going to say with smtp lib dot smtp, and I'm going to pass in my host name and port. And remember, I have to call this place as something, so as smtp, and I'm going to close this. So this time around I'm going to send message, and it's going to be so we're going to pass the message here. So I think that is all we need to do in order to send our mail using this library. So this warning that we have here is because we are using that library. It's a bit deprecated. So So I just found out that this image TLR library is already duplicated, so I'm going to use something that is more advanced. I'm going to call it Pure. So I'm going to go inside this folder, get the format of this image. So I'll say with image dot open, and I'm going to pass in our file. All right, so we are opening this image in write mode. So I'm going to say as file. So I'll close this. So and I'm going to say as f. So I'm going to say here that file underscore f, that is the format of this file, equals f dot format. And so this is going to give us the file format. And I am going to delete this part, and I'm going to set this to file format. And I'm going to run this. So okay, so we have a spelling error here, and that is why we are having this error. We are going to run this again, and again we have file name error, and this should work now. Okay, so our mail, I believe, must have sent successfully, and I'm going to check my email now. So, and I'm seeing that I have two attachments. So I have body of message, and I'm seeing no subject. So I'm just going to go back to that script. Yes, and I misspelled subject. So sorry about that. Subject, yeah. So I'm going to save this and run again. And now new message from me, blah blah blah, and we're able to get beautiful messages to our mail. So I hope you understand this flow very well. So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.